Hello, this is the Buck Stops here, and there are two big stories to be followed today. First, a terror alert across India after a rather unprecedented sharing of intelligence by Pakistan. Does this signal a major change in policy? And then we move on to what's been a rather bad day for Vijay Mallya. Is this the end of the good times for him? So two major stories, two major debates that we will be having. But let's just start off with that terror alert all across India. Today is, of course, Mahashivratri and has been marked by that terror alert. But what's particularly noteworthy about this is that it follows the sharing of intelligence by Pakistan. It's based on a tip-off by Pakistan. So does that mean that Pakistan is now changing its policy?
A multi-city alert across India, including Tier 2 cities like Lucknow, Chandigarh, Bhopal and Vijayawada.
सिक्योरिटी एजेंसी से अपना काम कर रहे हैं। उस पर देखिए एक इनपुट्स मिला, उसको कोई बहस करने का मुद्दा नहीं है। इसको मैं इस तरह से बयानबाजी दे करके उसको खुला बात तो नहीं कर सकता।
Sources tell NDTV, besides a tip-off from Pakistan, Indian security agencies have also warned that 10 Lashkar or JM terrorists have sneaked into India through Gujarat. Security agencies have launched a nationwide hunt to track them down, but 24 hours into the alert, the 10 terrorists remain untraceable. For the first time ever, Pakistan has tipped off India of a possible terror attack. India remains skeptical. Is Pakistan running with the hare and hunting with the hound? In Gujarat, where the terrorists are believed to sneaked in from tight security,
here in Gujarat, security continues to be intensified. You can see lots of police deployment here in the city, outside religious places and outside some temples. Vehicles being checked thoroughly, barricades have been put up, and in fact this city has in fact been turned into fortress.
In adjoining Maharashtra, similar measures.
The Maharashtra government is not taking any chances and has ensured that there is red alert across the city and security is tightened.
While security agencies stroll through India searching for the 10 terrorists, the big worry continues to be the Tier 2 cities and the response to a possible terror attack. With Rohit Bhan in Ahmedabad and Ankita in Mumbai, in New Delhi, Shruti Ranjan Sen for NDTV.
All right, let's take a look then at what this possibly signifies, not just the terror alert, but what it might mean about India-Pakistan relations. Remember, there was a Pakistani team here as well, checking out security at Dharamshala. For more on all of this, Brahma Chelani is joining us, Strategic Affairs Analyst. We have KC Singh, also former Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs. Abhishek Manu Singhvi is joining us as well. Joining us from Pakistan, Admiral Javed Iqbal, Defense Analyst from Pakistan. And Nalan Kohli is going to be with us in just a short while. But KC Singh, why don't I just kick off with you? The fact that you have the Pakistani National Security Advisor picking up the phone, calling up and saying, we think that terrorists may have entered and you need to be concerned. It's Mahashivratri, there could be a terror attack and we are warning you about it. To your mind, does this signal a major change one way or the other? Is this a fairly unprecedented development? Normally they're sort of pushing them in on the quiet and not telling us about it until after the terror attack, not telling us at all actually, just allowing the terror to happen.
Well, the fact that they've done it publicly can mean one of various things, because if the question was only tipping us off, then these things are normally done quietly, because you're also tipping the militants off. So what kind of a warning is it if you tell the perpetrator, who may already be in India, to be aware that they are functioning at a disadvantage? Is it a group that they are not controlling, so they're killing two birds with one stone, saying it's LET or it's a faction of the LET or elements of the JM or LET, which may be having allegiance to some other group. So they want to discipline that, send a signal to those organizations which may not be playing ball and also earning brownie points with India. Or finally, is it that there is no such group? So you give such a warning, and this is a typical intelligence bureau warning. If something doesn't happen, you say, look, we warned you, so it didn't happen. And if something happens, you will say, we forewarned you. But in the process, you are trying to create the atmosphere for resumption of dialogue. It can be any one of these various things. But to assume a straightforward thing that they have done it with great positive intention and they want to control the groups back home, then the information should be more specific. It should be more specific information.
Well, I mean, you know, yes, and your point is well taken, although if they are not in their control, then they wouldn't have more specific information than this. But you're clearly sounding skeptical. Brahma Chelani, you tweeted a little earlier in the day, if I remember, something about Alice trapped in Wonderland. First, Modi's Lahore visit yielded a string of terror attacks, you said, and now India, relying on Pakistan intel, mounts a terror alert. What exactly are you getting at? You think this is not a genuine alert? Are you skeptical about it, like KC Singh seems to be?
There are two facets to it. First, groups like JEM and LAT are nothing but front organizations of the ISI. No cross-border infiltration happens without support from the Pakistan military. Now, there's a Pakistani motive at play and an Indian motive at play. The Pakistani motive is twofold. One, to advertise Pakistan's quote-unquote cooperation on the terrorism issue. And second, to put India on a wild goose chase. Now, what is India's motivation in leaking out this alleged tip-off?
It's not been officially confirmed. You're right. This is more coming from sources.
That's why I said it's leaked out.
We're getting information. You know,
it's leaked out to the media, but there's a motive, an Indian motive at play. The Indian motive appears to be to create political space at home to facilitate a Modi Sharif meeting in Washington this month end on the sidelines of the Nuclear Security Summit. Creating this space is necessary because of the boomerang effect of Modi's famous hug of Sharif in Lahore on Christmas Day. That hug, like Vajpayee's hug of Nawaz Sharif at Wagah border in 1999, did not bring peace. It brought greater cross-border terrorism. You know, so the Modi hug.
Having said that, the fact to which, after all these years of after 2 decades or 3 decades, for the first time the Pakistanis have actually given a tip-off. Does that not sound as a vindication of that strategy, the decision to go out there? I mean, we can be skeptical that is there really a group, or is it not?
All the attacks that have happened in India of Pakistani origin have been carried out by terrorist proxies of Pakistan. They've not been carried out directly. Now, to tell India through a tip-off that 10 alleged LET and JEM terrorists have infiltrated into India's Gujarat begs the question that these are your guys. You are informing us after they've infiltrated. Maybe they have infiltrated into Kashmir or Punjab or Rajasthan. You're putting India on a wild goose chase. There's a national alert. But what is the more important thing is, why are the Indians leaking out this alleged tip-off? Okay. There is a motive at play there.
All right, let me go to Admiral Javed Iqbal there. As you can see, many of our experts are sounding slightly skeptical. What are you hearing from there? Is this part of a deliberate new strategy that is being followed by Pakistan? That look, from now onwards, whenever we're going to get some information, we are really serious. We're going to tell the Indians. We're going to try and prevent attacks from taking place there. Or is there some game at play out here? And various reasons have been put forward.
I think I share my Indian friends' concern. I totally share with that. I think I would also be skeptical. The fact is that unthinkable is happening. So when unthinkable happens, then the people, you know, have many questions about it. But I think probably...
Hang on, the unthinkable, sir, that you are referring to, the unthinkable you're talking about is the fact that the Pakistani National Security Advisors actually called up its Indian counterpart and saying, be careful, they're terrorists.
That if Nasir Janjoa, if General Nasir Janjoa is calling him and taking off, that, you see, he has been also part of that organization for a long time. So, like one thing, what I think we should take it also. Sometimes when we try to be clever and we have to our own interpretations, agree that some of it may be absolutely justified. But I think if we just take it on face value, what does it mean? I think it does not, you know, put any harm to anybody. I think, let's say that if the establishment in Pakistan and the political people, pundits in Pakistan, the government in Pakistan, if they are on the one page, and if they think that this menace the terror menace is, making both India and Pakistan hostage. I think if they have done it, they may be checking that what is your response to it, and whether you also.
So you mean you are saying what is going to be India's response? I mean, let's face it. What's more normal for a Pakistani national security advisor or for the Pakistani state, and certainly for the ISI, is actually to give the terrorists arms, ammunition, give them a nice, have fun, good luck to you sort of cards and push them across.
That is also the. Now I want to add one thing. Don't forget that LET, Jaish-e-Mohammed and many of Taliban groups are not in control of Pakistan. So
they were started, funded, supported, aided, abetted,
look, you see,
condoned all these years. That's why the skeptical is there really radical
everywhere. It happens everywhere. You fund, support, you support a guy and he overturns you. He becomes your enemy. So it is nothing new. So right now, it is a fact that the Pakistan establishment is not controlling many of these guys, many of Taliban. So I think I would take it on face value that if it is a goodwill gesture, how does India respond to it?
I think if I may just intervene and and link it with something else that India is doing, welcoming Pakistani investigators in the Pathankot case, that tells you even more. Then this
and a Pakistani security team just today going to Dharamsala. So that's why I'm trying to figure out if there's something radical that's happening out here.
No, but for India to agree to welcome Pakistani investigators in the Pathankot case, it's like accepting arsonists as firefighters. By agreeing to accept a team from Pakistan to come to India to probe the Pathankot attack, India has bought the myth that groups like JEM are independent of the Pakistani state. Let's face it, the JIT that Pakistan has set up, the Joint Investigation Team in the Pathankot case, it has been set up not to bring the Pathankot attack masterminds to justice, but to investigate operational deficiencies in the Pathankot attack in order to ensure that the next attack carried out through proxies does not leave similar telltale signs. Now, for India to welcome heartily Pakistani investigators is a major shift both in thinking and in policy. It also shows that India's Pakistan policy today is unhinged. It's directionless.
Okay, let me just get to the politics of that. You're saying it's an unhinged policy right now. Nalin Kohli joining us. Nalin, our signal's not terribly clear, so I don't think we can hear you. We can see you, but we can certainly hear you. Nalin, what does this mean for the Pakistan policy that the government has been following? There was some talk of flip-flop. Was that a ringtone? No, now we can't hear him, or we can't see him. So while we get him back up, let me try and get Abhishek Singhvi. Abhishek, what does all of this say for the government's Pakistan policy? Because let's face it, if the NSA has shared genuine intelligence with India to say, look, we're trying to help you avert a terror attack, then that's it seems to be a radically different to anything that we've been seeing all this time.
No, I think there are two facets to it. The first part is the Pakistan angle to it. The second is the government policy angle to it. As far as the Pakistan angle to it is concerned, it would really be a dawn of a new era if you were to jump to a conclusion that because there is this so-called forewarning, Pakistan has now suddenly become cooperative and constructive and supportive in a joint fight against terror. I wish to God that was so, but I would require considerably more corroborative, supportive, continuous evidence to come to that conclusion. One swallow doesn't make a summer. If this is so, you will know within the next few weeks. You will know in the way and manner in which these 2 or 3 heads of these organizations are allowed to roam free, the way and manner in which their prosecutions are conducted, the way and manner in which people are coercively detained. These are all corroborative, supportive angles which suggest that this is genuine. I don't see anything of the sort.
Okay, you again, so you're saying it's not genuine.
Any of the theories you've heard till now, no, just 1 second, just give me half a minute, Vikram. Whatever you have seen till now is nothing but a swallow in the summer, and it could be for any of the reasons you have heard in the program prior. Now the second point is very important. I find the government's policy as zigzag, as confused, as knee-jerk and as ad hoc as possible, as it has
As
been
yours
for the last 2 years.
was. Is that what
Now,
you were about to
you
say
have-
end
you
by
have-
saying?
You, yes.
As
for the last 2
zigzag,
years.
as
You're not allowing me
confused,
to hear.
as flip-flopped, as your own
Yes.
policy used to be once upon a time.
Well, that you are entitled to say as an anchor. That's not what I am saying, at least. And I'll tell you why it's zigzag. Our Prime Minister never took a sudden detour without consulting his foreign minister or the foreign policy advisors for a lunch to Lahore, then have
Okay,
hugs in Christmas and now, and then have these attacks.
All right. Abhishek,
I mean,
let me get Nalin
I
in.
agree entirely that people who are called as investigators,
We've heard
there's
you.
a difference between a person coming for observation teams. As investigators, a very dangerous trend.
Okay, fine. I heard you. Let me get Nalin calling in now, and we can see you and we can hear you both now. I'm happy to say so. Nalin, just wanted to get your sense. Are you seeing whatever is happening right now as a vindication of the Prime Minister's visit to Lahore, or is it too early? This is one warning that has come, and there's still a lot of skepticism, as you can see, as to what this is for. Was it just to send India on a wild goose chase on Shivratri Day?
No, I think I would at least not like to look at it from any of these perspectives, because this really can't be a political discussion in a sense that A, it's a source-based information. It's come from neither side, any official source. And second is, I was hearing, at least while coming up here, what Mr. Chilani was saying, what Ambassador K.C. Singh was saying, that these are the aspects that are bound to be discussed. So with regard to it, in the normal sense, if it is true or not, I can't say, but nevertheless, in the normal sense, you would expect countries to work on terrorism. This shouldn't be something out of the blue.
But for India and Pakistan to work together on terrorism is...
That's what...
I mean, I think Brahma was using the example of a arsonist being called in as...
And the second part, as I said, that is what you'd normally say. Second is, as was being pointed out, there would be the obvious skepticism given the history that we have and the issues that are there. So I think where I would like to leave it is that with the Indo-Pak issue, it's a complex, it's a situation that merits effort, but always we tend to look at the outcome immediately, and we, I think, have a microscopic vision. So we should stop. At the end of the day, what will matter is only progress in real terms.